Yes, hello and good evening to all. Sorry to keep you waiting. I was just waiting so that others can join and then we can start the class. So I think there is no other class going on apart from this one. Okay, so yes, good evening Sunil. Good evening to all. So our today's class is on management of human resource, and the topics which we are covering in today's class is career planning versus human resource planning, role of psychometric test in career planning, succession planning, features of succession planning, scope of succession planning. So, and finally the difference between the career planning and succession planning. So this is our today's topic. So career planning, as we all know, right from our childhood we have to plan towards our career, what we want to become. Either we want to become an engineer, we want to become a doctor, we want to become an administrative service, we want to become a scientist. So I mean, everybody has their own sense of motivation, and according to that motivation they used to choose their career path. So that is a career planning. So you have to plan a career in advance. So you have to nurture yourself, you have to develop yourself according to that plan which you have decided for yourself, and for that you take coachings, you go to classes, you go to some tutors for learning something, you get yourself associated with certain professors, subject matter experts. So that will rather help you in supporting you in achieving towards a career goal which you have planned for yourself. So that is a career planning. Let's get more into that. So career planning. What is career planning? Glimpse of career planning process. How important is career planning? And career planning done by individual organizations and its guidelines. Let us see what is a career. What is the difference between the job and the career? Job is what can I do now to make money. Career is chosen profession for your life. Requires a willingness to get the training needed to build your skills in the future. So job is what you do is to earn money for yourself. That is job. And career is you choose profession. It will be very good for you if you choose such kind of career or profession that will help you in making lots of money in the future. So how is that possible? It is possible if you have chosen that particular profession as a job who you loves doing that profession. Suppose if I talk of say a cricketer called Sachin Tendulkar, he loves the game cricket. He has chosen his career as a game cricket. So since he loves his profession, he loves his career, that's why that job earns him a lot of money. So that is the difference between job and career. Career is your profession, your likings, your taste, what you want to do. Job is you do something for earning money. Then career is the work a person does. It is the sequence of jobs that an individual has held throughout his or her working life. Example, occupation of nursing. So job is something which you do all throughout your life. In the family, you do a family job like bringing groceries, stores, items, going to office, working for the corporates, working for your professional life. In the house, you have children, you work for your children. So I mean, everywhere you have a certain job to do. If that particular job is as per your liking, as per your profession, so that job becomes your career. Then career planning, you have to plan career in advance. Career planning consists of activities and actions that you take to achieve your individual career goals. Like I said, suppose you want to become an engineer, you want to become a software developer, right from your childhood, say after class 6 or after class 7, you will get more focused towards technologies. You will start digging that you have that, if you have that gist from your inside that you want to become some technical guy. So you'll start exploring some technical lectures, technical videos on internet, on Google. You start exploring what is Android, how mobile functions like that, what is apps. So you start thinking in that particular direction, that which will further going to become your career or profession. So that is how you plan. You join some courses, some technical courses, you learn some computer languages, C language, C++, Java, COBOL, ASP.NET, or you do some networking courses. So you plan your career as per your profession. So that is career planning. Then further you go for some degree courses. Say in India it's a 4-year degree course, Bachelor in Information Technology. There are a lot of reputed institutes in the country which provides a good education on the technology, information technology or computer science or electronics and communication. So that is how you plan your career. So career planning consists of all those activities. So whatever activity you are doing, joining some institute, joining some university, joining short-term courses, searching on internet, Google, YouTube. So all those activities and actions which you do for pursuing your profession is the planning, is the part of the career planning. Okay, clear to all? Any doubts, any questions till now? What about, okay, Monachan says clear, Prabhas says clear, what about others? Praveen says clear, Rinin, what about you? What about other fellows in the class? Manu says yes, Ayman, Sunil, Deepak, Suraj, Najad. I want everybody's participation in the class, just to make the class more interactive. If you have some questions, you can go ahead and ask your questions. I can just unmute you and you can put in your questions. Let's deeper insight, let's go more into that. It is the lifelong process a person goes through to learn about himself, such as purpose, personality, interests, skills, talents. See why there is a problem in the world. What is the reason for the problem? Any kind of problem, whether it's a financial issues or economical issues, or there is a terrorism issues, there is a inflation issues. Why there are so much problems in people's life? Because people are not very much clear what they are made for and what they want to achieve in life. That is the basic problem. See, change is constant. We all know that change is constant. Everything is changing in this world. Nothing is permanent in this world. We have to adapt ourselves as per the changes going on in the world. Whether it's in terms of lifestyle, whether in terms of technology, whether in terms of interest, your personality, you have to keep on changing and motivating yourself so as to keep the pace with the world. The people who are not able to change themselves as per the requirement, they suffer. And there are a lot of people who are not clear why they are doing something. They are not clear in mind what they want to exactly achieve in life. And that is the problem of all that is the basic problem with everybody. So as early as possible you understand what is your purpose of existence, what is your personality, what is your interest, what is your skills, what is your talent. If by any means, by any motivation, by anybody's guidance, by your self introspection or by your self motivation, if you got these questions in the life at the very early stage of your life or very early stage of your career, if you know what is your purpose, what is your personality, what is your interest, what is your skill, what is your talent. If you have the idea of all those stuffs at the very early stage of your life or career, things will become easy for you. And it is a lifelong process. I mean, you keep on learning. There is no end to knowledge. You keep on learning, you keep on exploring new things. That is life is all about. So it is a lifelong process. So career planning, we can say it is not a one-day process. It is a lifelong process. A person goes through to learn about himself, and it keeps on going and going and going. Second, develop a self-concept, learn about careers and work situations. Make a career choice while developing and copying social skills. So career planning is an ongoing process. Here you explore your interests and abilities, strategically plan your career goals, create your future work success by designing learning and action plans to help you achieve your goals. That means you have to identify your interests and abilities, you have to plan your career goals according to your interests and abilities, and you have to make some future plans so that you can shape your career and shape your interests and abilities of whatever you want to achieve future in life. So it is an ongoing process. The major focus is matching personal goals and opportunities that are realistically available. So career planning is building bridges from one current job career to next job career. Well conceived career plan is flexible to accommodate changing opportunities for development. Then how important is career planning? People leave an organization due to lack of career growth. Deeper focus on an employee aims and aspirations. Degree of clarity helps in identifying handicaps and the blind spots to overcome. Significant motivator, key retention tool and critical human resource strategy. So that is why career planning is important. In today's corporate world, lot of people switches to another jobs, or lot of people changes lot of jobs. What is the reason for changing? The reason for changing is people want to learn new technologies, people want to learn new things and move ahead in life. That is there. So nowadays people are package is concerned, money is concerned, salary is concerned, but apart from salary, people have knowledge thirst. They want to learn new things. They want to learn some new creative and innovative things. They want to take up some challenging projects. So people are very keen on gaining knowledge. So knowledge management is very important. That's why in lot of companies nowadays they have their own knowledge pool. You can just, what is Google? Google is a knowledge pool. You can type in anything and you can get the answer of anything or any question or any queries you have. That's why there are a lot of companies, they have their own knowledge database. From that knowledge database you will get lot of answers to your questions pertaining to that particular company. So that is why in career planning one has to keep on moving ahead, since it's an ongoing process and you have to keep on learning new things and moving ahead. Okay, clear to all? Any doubts anybody till now? Okay. So high level vision and goals of company are clearly made known to employees. Growth of an organization is intrinsically linked with the growth of an individual. Matching organization vision and employees' aspirations is must. You join certain organization if the vision of the organization and the vision of the employee matches. If the growth of the organization is related to the growth of the individual, you will enjoy working in that place. And the high level visions and goals of the company are clearly made known to the employees. That will help the employee in understanding what the employee wants, apart from working for the company, what employee will gain for himself. So that is the high level vision and goals of the company. So a typical employee views a career planning program as a path to upward mobility. Then win-win situation for all. The manager sees career planning as a retention and tool. Then top management how looks it as a tool for succession planning. So who is responsible for planning one's career? Number one, the individual, his own self is responsible for planning. Then at the organization level, organization is also concerned if organization finds that a certain employee in the organization is very competitive and very efficient for the organization. So company, as per their requirement, will also at times be responsible for planning career of the individual. So individual, his own self is also helpful for planning, and at organizational level also organization plans for individual's career. Then individual career planning process. Job search, he searches for a job. Then self-assessment, he does self-assessment whether he is suitable for that job or not. Then academic career options is there. Then relevant practical experience is there. So this is an individual career planning process. He looks for some academic career options. He goes through some practical experiences. He searches job, and then he does. If he or she is satisfied with the job, it's okay. If he or she is not satisfied with the job, he looks for some other options for himself. So that is the individual career planning process. So what is the self-assessment? Self-assessment is about your interest, your abilities, your values, and your personality. So aware of the interrelationship between self and occupational choice. Start by learning interest, abilities, skills, and work values. Listing accomplishments, understanding physical and psychological needs, assessing aspirations and motivational level, deciphering personal traits and characteristics. So exploring about yourself, what you are, what is your interest, what are your abilities, what are your values, and what are your personality. Then academic career options. You investigate the world of working in greater depth, narrow a general occupation direction into a specific one. Learning academic and career entrance requirements, learning related majors and careers to one's interest, investigating education and training required, learning skills and experience required, planning academic and career alternatives, learning job market trends. So nowadays you all know there are a lot of how you plan your career. Suppose you grow up from your childhood to some teenager. You have your elder brother, your father, your anybody who is a motivational factor in your life. Suppose I have my elder brother, and he is a very good technocrat, and he inspires me a lot. So I start following him. Okay, my elder brother is a software engineer. One day I am also going to become a software engineer. I go for some educational training. I join some training institutes. I take some tutor for my help who can guide me and who can train me on the respective technologies. I gain skills from there. Then I join some company in the starting. I get some experience from the company, and then I move ahead in life. Since there are in technological market, there is a lot market trends keep on changing. Today there is some technology. After 2 years, that technology will obsolete and some new technology will come. So I have to keep, if I have to survive in the market, software industry, if I have to survive in software industry, I have to keep on learning new technologies, keep on learning the IT management. So that is how one's career moves in life. So there is some at the start you have to have some motivational factor in your life which will help you in moving ahead. Clear to all? Any doubts, anybody? Okay. Then we'll moving ahead. Then I'm skipping some of the slides because then you start by job search. Job searches, there are a lot of job search portals are there. Then you started applying on that job search portals. In India there is a Naukri.com, monsterjobs.com, then in seek.com.au, then monster.sg is there for Singapore, So there are a lot of n number of job search internet portals are there. You can just put in your resume there and you get a lot of interview calls as per the requirement by that company. So that is by the job search. Then we have seen that individual career planning process. And what about the organizational career planning process? There needs to have a direction, then career time, transitions, career planning options and project outcome. You need to have a direction. Company wants that they want to start certain project and they want certain end result of the project to be such and such thing. So there needs to be a direction and finally they want the project outcome. In between that there should be a time period defined. What are the transitions that are required? What are the career planning options or what type of resources are required? Then talking about the project outcome. So you need a motivation or direction and then finally you need the project outcome. So career planning is not leaving the decision to chance. Career planning is not getting information and never deciding. Career planning is not going along with somebody else's plan. It's our future and we need to make our career decision on our own. That is about career planning and that brings us to the end of this particular slide. Let's play one video for you. I have one video for you. I'm just playing one video for you.
At Intelligent Executive. Okay. And what I want to share with you today are ideas about how you can better exploit your executive career, and in particular, how you can go about planning your executive career and developing your performance. Most executives mid-career have no plan. While some have planned to achieve their current position, thoughts of further advancement often take a back seat to life's other demands. Others believe that given the dynamic nature of business, the future cannot be predicted, so there is little point in planning. However, not to plan can leave you stalled or going round in circles. Planning puts you in the driving seat. You may still have to negotiate roadblocks and dead ends, but you control your speed and direction. With focus and a small number of manageable initiatives, you are better able to exploit your career potential, and we're going to outline for you how you can capitalize on your career opportunity. While you've probably got some ideas about what you want out of your career, these may be clouded by uncertainty or made complex because there's more than one possible route forward. However, you must focus on desired outcomes or else run the risk of doing nothing and going nowhere. Your starting point is, what do I want to accomplish? Whether your goals are realistic will depend upon your motivation and values, strengths, skills and competencies, available opportunities, and how well you apply yourself. The foundation for your executive career development and plan is developing a better understanding of yourself, your experience, skills, and motivations. These should shape your goals and determine your career plan. Whether your motivations are to achieve seniority or simply to be the best you can be, continuous self-development is essential. In the early stages of your career, you quickly acquired skills and experience, and you made big gains fast. However, as you get older and more senior, the pace slows. Times change. You become outdated. New ways of working emerge. You forget things. Your performance drops. Unless you actively and continuously develop and learn. Even to maintain the status quo, you must continually learn and evolve. Once established into your career, advancement becomes increasingly dependent on making small gains, which taken together achieve big results. We refer to this as marginal gain. You can leverage marginal gains, take small steps, and turn them into big results. Be an A player. An A player is filled with passion, committed to making things happen, open to new ideas from anywhere, blessed with lots of runway ahead, has charisma to energize themselves and others, and makes business productive and enjoyable. Your ongoing career success depends on your accomplishments, how well you perform and are regarded. Most people have no plan, no clear goals. You must consider what you want out of your professional life. Your priorities may relate to job satisfaction and being the best you can be, or to seniority and status. Now consider what you want out of your personal life. You can always earn money, but you can never buy your life back. Ask yourself, what must I do to achieve my goals? 1. For a small number of people, their goals will be unrealistic, which could be attributable to ability or circumstance. You therefore are advised to gain the inputs of several people about whether your goals are the right ones. 2. Your goal may require a significant step change. In other words, it may require a transformative difference. For example, gaining diverse new experiences or qualifications. 3. Without exception, you must undertake a number of initiatives, marginal gains, which collectively will get you to where you want to be. You'll probably have several routes along which you might develop your career, so consider how these might play out. Goals. Goal-setting professional. 10 years, 5 years, 3 years, 1 year. Buddy up, get inputs. It can be hard, if not impossible, to see ourselves as others do. However, we must assess our capabilities and options fairly and objectively if we are to make workable plans. Try the following. Don't plan your career solo. Seek the input of others before drawing conclusions. Don't restrict yourself to just one other person's opinion. Seek diverse perspectives for a smart, holistic overview. Buddy up. Seek the advice of people you trust and become a trusted advisor in return. Mentor one another. Consider engaging professional coaches to properly plan and exploit your career potential. Once you've got other people's inputs, you can consider your plans. Review and reflect. It's important to take time to reflect on things. Consider how the options available to you to progress your career may play out. You've set goals, sought input from others, and taken the time to reflect and review. It's time to create an action plan which bridges the gap between where you are now and where you aim to be. As you translate your goals into objectives with deadlines, remember to keep them SMART. Now you can begin to progress steadily towards your goals. Review progress regularly. Redraw your plans if you must, but if you miss a deadline, you should have a very good reason. Ask yourself, am I leveraging my highest point of value? In other words, are you using your full skill set, working at the highest level, and getting the optimum return from your employer? You occupy your current position because of your knowledge, skills, and ability. Demonstrate your true worth by focusing on your area of expertise or specialist knowledge. This may mean stepping away from tasks that are familiar or enjoyable, but you should avoid doing things that can be done by someone at a less senior level. Some environments value people more than others, and some pay more than others. By operating at your highest point of value always, you add most value and can expect the greatest reward. Focus on learning as a continuum, not an event. Grasp the idea of marginal gain and never let it go. As you progress your career, you must develop an executive presence. This should be consistently applied at work and outside, in person and online. It's no use being motivated and productive one day, week, or month, but not the next. The challenge is to perform at 100% every day. This requires motivation, and perhaps the most overlooked executive performance booster is maintaining energy, energizing. This affects your performance and how well you energize others. The 3 points I'd like you to act on in order for you to exploit your executive career opportunity are: 1. Take ownership for your executive career. 2. Develop a plan. 3. Buddy up, team up, trusted advisors. Thank you for joining us today at Intelligent Executive.
So do you all enjoy this video? Everybody? Yes. Okay. So now moving ahead. In career, talent management and development. So what is the talent management? Concerned with enhancing the attraction, long-term development and retention of key human resources. Determining the scope of talent management, targeting jobs, executive, senior and upper level management and key jobs. Targeting high potential individuals. So that is talent management. That is, most of the companies nowadays are looking for that human resource who is good in having some particular skills and who is good as a overall career wise. So that is called as a talent management, and every good company is in search of those talented guys. They'll pay them good heavy salary packages, and they are the key human resources, and company wants to retain such kind of resources for long term perspective. Then key areas. What are the key areas of talent management? First, creating and maintaining an organizational culture that values people. Then, identifying future needs and developing individuals to fill those needs. Third, establishing ways to conduct and manage activities to support talent development. Fourth, developing a pool of talented people who can supply future job needs. So these are some of the key areas of talent management. First, you have to create that kind of organizational culture in your organization so that people loves to join your organization. Apart from that, you also have to be very much future oriented. Future oriented means you have to plan in advance so that you can bring in some new fresh brains or some fresh individuals from the market who are beneficial for the organization. Third is you have to establish ways to conduct and manage activities to support talent development. You have bring in some good positive talented guy in your organization. So how you have to use that particular guy, or how you have to get the job done from that particular guy, that is also one of the concerns of the talent management. So then fourth, developing a pool of talented people who can supply future job needs. Then bringing all those good talented individuals together so that they can also hire some further new people for the organization, as well as they can also play some major important roles within the organization. So these are some of the key areas of talent management. What is the talent management bridge? First you select or recruit, then you train, then you do a career planning, then HR development, then succession planning, then performance management, then retention, and then qualified workforce demand match. So this is a talent management bridge. You select or you recruit, then you train them, then accordingly you do some career planning for them within the organization, HR development, then succession planning, then performance management, then retention and qualified workforce supply / demand match. What is the effective talent management? Right people with the right capabilities at the right time and at the right place. That is a ideal situation for effective talent management. The role of the talent management people are to select right people for the right capabilities at the right time and at the right people, right place. Then career, as we have seen before, the series of work-related position a person occupies through life. What are the career paths? Represent employees' movements through opportunities over time. I'm skipping some of those slides which we have already done before. We have already seen all these steps in the previous slides, so I'm just skipping these slides. So individual career management. Individual career management is you do self-assessment. You get some feedback that whether you are moving on the right path or not, and you, according to that, you set some career goals for your own self. So that is the individual career planning component. Whenever you start your career in your life, or whenever you start doing something new in your life, first you self-analyze yourself. Then, if you are not very much clear through the self-assessment which you have done, you try to get some feedback either through some print media, some internet media, or through some experienced persons, or your some parents or anybody. So you get some feedback that whether you are taking the right decision in your life or not. Then third is you set your career goals according to that. Then career choice may be your interest, it's your self-image, it reflects your personality and your social background. Then what are the career stages for you? Your characteristics. Characteristics is early career is plus minus 20 years, mid career is 30 to 40 years, late career is plus minus 50 years, and career end is 60 to 70 years. What are your needs? Identifying interests, exploring several jobs, concerns, external rewards, acquiring more capabilities. At the mid career, that is means when you are in the age of 30 to 40 years, you are advancing in your career. Lifestyle may limit. There are options, growth on opportunities, and your values, contributions, integrity, and well-being. Late career, you are building skills. Individual is settled. Individual is a leader whose opinions are valued. Then mentoring, disengaging, organizational continuance. In careering, planning for retirement, examining non-work interest and retirement part-time employment. What is the portable career path? Beginning, expanding, changing, sustaining, and concluding. Beginning means you spend several years at large company to learn skills and build network. Then use networking to develop broader skills and make contact, establish good reputation. Changing means change industries or go to work for smaller companies, start a company. Sustaining means refresh skills, take a sabbatical, go back to school, gain experience in non-profit organizations. Concluding is move to appealing projects as a temporary employee or subcontractor. That is your portable career path. Then what are the career transitions? Entry shock for new employees, supervisors, feedback, time, and work. What are the special individual career issues? Technical and professional workers, dual career ladders, women and careers, sequencing and glass ceiling, global career concerns, global development and repatriation, dual career couples, family versus career relocation. Then developing human resources, efforts to improve employees' ability to handle a variety of complex assignments requiring judgment, responsibility, decision making, and communication. Developing specific capabilities, competencies, lifelong learning, and redevelopment. when developing human resources, employee development needs analysis method. Yes, Simon, I'll mail this particular PPT to coordinator at lmsrc.com and you can get it from there. I'll mail it to coordinator at lmsrc.com and you can ask them to share that PPT. Okay. Then employee development needs analysis methods. You go to some assessment centers, you do some psychological testing and you do some performance appraisals. That will help you in assessing the employee development graph. What are the possible means for developing employees in a learning organization? You provide them some formal training, some team sharing, coaching or mentoring, observation, university programs, individual development plans and job rotation. What is the result? Individual learning and development. It's a very good PPT. I think it's very easy PPT. If you just go through this PPT, you'll be able to understand. And what are the management development methods? One is the supervisor development, then executive education, management mentoring, management coaching, leadership development and management modeling. There is nothing to explain more into this. Then stages in management mentoring relationships, less experienced manager and more experienced manager. Less experienced manager and admires the senior manager's competence, recognizes him or her as a source of guidance, realizes younger manager has potential and is coachable. Yes, what are the common problems in management development? Failing to conduct an adequate need analysis, trying out fad programs or training methods, failing to address organizational factors that result in encapsulated development. Last is substituting training instead of selecting qualified individuals. What is succession planning? Identifying development needs of the workforce, assisting in identifying needed future job skills, noting employees who might fill future positions, communicating the succession plan process to employees, tracing and regularly updating succession plan efforts. So succession plan means you do planning in advance. You do planning related to the organization, related to the employees, everything. Whatever you have planned, succession means to do planning in advance. Succession means to do planning in advance. So succession planning considerations: make or buy talent. Succession planning with skill areas. Third is electronic web-based succession planning. Then what is the effective management succession? Customer relationship capabilities, leadership skills, management capabilities, community involvement and external industry contacts. Then what is career planning? Moving on, knowing yourself, exploring your options and making decisions. That brings us to the end of this particular PPT as well. Any questions, any doubts, anybody till now? Okay, let's play one more video for you. It's a small video.
Emotional intelligence is a broad description of the ability to understand and control one's own emotions, together with the ability to manage relationships through the recognition and understanding of other people's emotions. What does it mean to you? Your performance, status, seniority, earnings, your relationships with other people, satisfaction, status, self-worth, your career progression inside and outside of your organization. And the more senior you become, the greater the extent to which your emotional intelligence comes into play. Some of your career highs and lows to date will have had their outcomes driven by your emotional intelligence. There is a direct correlation between emotional intelligence and business outcomes or results. Here's just 3 examples. In management and leadership positions, emotional intelligence, when combined with experience, is the best predictor of executive success, approximately 40% more successful. Sales results, where sales reps have been consulted and coached in respect of EI, have seen sales increase some 10 to 20%. Organizations which have worked proactively to develop the emotional intelligence of teams have cut attrition rates in half. EI is twice as important as IQ in determining future career success. And now for the good news. Unlike IQ, it can be developed. How can you develop it? There are 4 basic areas in which professionals apply emotional intelligence in decision-making and leadership. Self-awareness is the ability to understand your emotions as well as recognize their impact on relationships and performance. Social awareness is the ability to identify emotions in others and to understand their perspective and take an interest in their concerns. Self-management, controlling your emotions and using your awareness of them to stay flexible and act positively. Social skills and relationship management, your ability to use your awareness of your own emotions, together with your understanding of the emotions of others, to manage interactions successfully. Consider the 4-factor model and review any appraisal documentation and 360-degree feedback. Reflect on any big conversations you have had. Get feedback from those around you and your trusted advisors. And ask yourself, what worked well? What could have gone better? What do you wish you had done differently? What did you learn? Having become better acquainted with your emotional intelligence, you should now consider how you can better apply it.
That was a small video on emotional intelligence. One more thing is left is psychometric test. Let's see what is psychometric test. So what are psychometric tests? What do you think of a psychometric test is? How is a psychometric test different from school or university exams? What have you heard from others about psychometric tests? And have you completed any psychometric tests before? Let's see that one by one. So what are psychometric tests? Psyche means mind. Metric means to measure. To measure mind. So what are psychometric tests? A standardized sample of behavior which can be described by a numerical scale or category system. A psychological test used in the world of work. A psychological test is any procedure on the basis of which inferences are made concerning a person's capability, propensity or liability to act, react, experience or structure of order, thought or behavior in particular ways. Then why do employers use them? Fair and objective measures of a skill, ability or the potential to acquire it. Give a more rounded picture of sustainability for a role. Objectively compares candidates' performance with norm levels for a similar population. Reliable predictor of how well someone is likely to perform in a given job, profession and exams. So that psychometric tests are mostly used by employers who are employing new employees. What are the advantages for employers? Less subjective than an interview. Fairer, more objective decision making through use of standardized tests. Online testing, greater cost efficiency. Provides evidence of skills not easily obtained from other elements of the recruitment process. When are psychometric tests used? At different stages of the recruitment process as a part of application process on the assessment day can vary between paper and online tests. Different tests can. That was a small metric test. Ability oblique aptitude test, personality inventories, situational judgment test and career matching software. Then aptitude test, what to expect. I'm not getting deep into that. Numerical test, what are they? Then verbal reasoning. I'm not getting into the example part. Then logical reasoning. Then personality inventories. So these are the different type of tests which basically checks which is the psychometric test, which will evaluate your mind. Then whether you are good in logical reasoning, whether you are good in numerics, whether you are good in some English speaking course or something. So that psychometric test will help you in that particular thing. Or whether you are good in situational judgment. If you come across certain situation in your career or in your job, then how you are going to react in that situation. So that all things will be checked through psychometric test. So psychometric test can be an online test, online exam also, and it can be a paper exam also. So that is all about psychometric test. That brings us to the end of our today's class. So we have covered everything. We have seen career planning, we have seen role of psychometric tests in career planning, and we have seen succession planning. So only 4 minutes are left for the class. Any questions, anybody till now? Okay. All clear. Okay. So hope all of you have enjoyed today's class. Thank you all for your time. Just do give everybody a request to give your feedbacks after the class. I want everybody of you to just give the feedback. Mr. Monachan, any update on that mail which I have sent to you previously? Not yet. Okay. Okay, so thank you all for your time. Thank you all. Take care. Bye-bye.